Are we good to go then, boys?
I think we are. That sounds good to me.
Cool. Right, 3, 2, 1, boom. Welcome to the Eggman Show. My name's Forbes.
My name's Scotty Paws.
And we've got Ellis Hurley on the show. What's cracking, Ellis?
What's happening? How's it going?
Thanks for coming all the way here, man. I appreciate you. This is about the third time or something you've been to Eggman. Travelling all the way from Glasgow.
It's part of it, man. You've got to, it's part of like the networking scheme, innit? You've got to
definitely
branch out. You can't just sit and expect everything to come to you. You've got to go out and push yourself as well.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
We love getting people through as well.
Yeah.
Like, people are always like pure excited when they come in and that.
Yeah. I remember the first time I came in here, I was, because you were quite surprised because like you recently just renovated it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it was my first time and I was walking about as if like I shouldn't be here right now. Because I came with my acoustic guitar and I was only doing like a couple of songs that I first done as like my songwriting path. And I was like, I can't believe I'm writing and singing these songs in this studio right now. I don't think I deserve to be playing these tunes right now. Thinking back now, obviously, it's quite mad.
Fair play to you for travelling through, because you travelled through on a Vespa.
Oh, aye.
All the way here to fucking Glasgow. That is crazy,
time,
man.
I mean, like, it was amazing. It was a lovely journey. It took me an hour and 50 minutes on a moped. But I had a wee earphone in, listening to some tunes. It was quite nice. I wouldn't rush to do it again, right?
Especially in the winter.
Yeah, because it was nice, because it was about September when I came, so it was not chilly, but it was not the best. And I was, by the time I got here, when Scott was here, I was fucking shaking. and like, I had the worry that we had to like start straight away. And I was like sitting there to Scott and I was like, can I just get a cup of tea first? And he's like, yeah. Obviously, him being the nicest man I've ever met in my life. He's like, take all the time you need. And
Scott's sitting behind the desk, buzzing with that compliment.
I was just sitting there, like my legs were still shaking and my hands were like white. There's no chance I'm playing. I was like, I'm probably gonna have to just fucking go home. But it was well worth it, because the journey was amazing. Like, I felt like I was fucking James Bond. You see like the smaller bridge before it's like a 4-mile little long road, and it was just me and Do I Want to Know was playing in my ears. And I was just like, this is right, you can admit this is pretty cool. Right now. This is pretty cool. It's alright. Only light is like my headlight as well. So it was just like, I appreciate this. And then I really did not appreciate the hour and a half after, because it took me ages to get home and it was just freezing. I just passed out straight away.
So where are you from, Ellis?
I am from Rutherglen. Originally from Liverpool, but
really?
Yeah, my dad's a Scouser, but I get called, the lads call me the fake Scouser, because you can tell by my accent I'm not actually from Liverpool. I don't sound like I'm from Liverpool. That's the main thing.
Is that where your song Liverpool came from? Was it inspired by that?
It was kind of like a homage to be like, come on, show a bit of respect to like where you came from.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was just, the song was originally just about like kicking yourself up the arse to go back to your like origins almost, to kind of try and find yourself. I mean, I wasn't trying to find myself, but you get the idea. You have to be a wank sometimes.
Liverpool's someplace.
Oh, I fucking love that city.
I do love it.
You're lucky, man, because my two favourite cities in the UK are Liverpool and Glasgow.
I think it's everybody's. That's why that's why a lot of people don't like
proper working class cities.
Everyone's jealous of Glaswegians and Scousers, because we are the funniest out there. We just
true.
are. They are the funniest people, and everybody hates
best
it.
accents as well.
Best accents as well.
Unlike ours.
I was roasting fuck it used before.
Come on, I mean, Ken.
It's like you're totally aware that
we're totally
the
aware.
accent's not
it's
like,
fucking horrific.
I think the thing is, we just need to get so good at this that nobody notices it anymore. Hopefully. Just get rid of the stigma against it.
But what makes it welcoming is like you accept it. Like, you aren't like stubborn about it. It's our accents are the best.
It's horrendous.
It's part of it.
So what's it like growing up in Glasgow with such a good music scene?
It gives you a lot of hope. It makes you feel like you can actually be part of it, because it's like the people that are like in the Glasgow music scene aren't just like fucking superstars. You're not seeing them and they're not like a fucking glow around them. They're just normal people.
No, exactly. And it must be like, we were speaking about this last night. So you're from not far from Castlemilk.
Yeah,
Jerry's from
exactly.
Jerry Cinnamon.
Yeah.
So it must be fucking mad seeing a guy like that who's a proper working class lad and just looks like he's from the street.
So that was the point. That was like the before like I even thought about having a band. It was originally I need to push myself first, because it was only like 2 years ago I picked up a guitar and I was just like, I'm really annoyed I can't play like my favourite songs.
Yeah.
And it just came from that. And then as soon as I learned chords, I was like, I can write my own music here.
Yeah.
And then just inspiration just kicks you up the arse.
12 chords, man. That's all you need.
Exactly.
And like the main inspiration at the time was Jerry. Because I remember like the first time, because I wasn't one of those like guys that were like, yeah, I've known him since 2016. Like it was 2017. I saw him play at Transmit, and I was just like, this is amazing. Like the video of it, and just that energy that one lad can bring.
Yeah.
And
it must be cool just knowing that he's around the corner for you.
Yeah. It's right. I get it. That's what exactly.
So similar upbringing and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like I can do that if you can do that.
It gives you that kind of like kick up the arse to be like, yeah, you can
Do
actually.
you feel that there's a lot of people in Glasgow that now that's looking at Jerry and being inspired like that? People your age for the streets.
Definitely. I think people want to take inspiration. I definitely did. When I first started writing guitar, I took one of the first songs I wrote was kind of like not copied or like influenced. It was just kind of like the same energy as that.
Yeah.
And I told that when I bumped into him, I was like one of my songs. It's not a rip off, but you're gonna be like, what's going on here, mate? Come on. You've wrote that with me in mind, haven't you, son? Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
Where did you bump into him?
It was B&Q. And I was,
What a flip.
so you know about my little studio, the shed. So I was getting stuff for that, and it was quite late, and I just had the moped outside. And I'm walking in, and through like my acting game and stuff, I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of famous people, and I've never been squirmish. I've never been that type of guy to be like, oh yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he walked past me. And my arse is until that time, my arse has never collapsed more than I saw his fucking face right in front of me, because he had this hood up, and I just went, Jerry, and he was just like looking at me like, oh, what's happening, man? Just kept walking, and I was like, and I went, I went, you fucked it, and I'm sitting on the moped like, that was your chance to just tell him how much you love him and respect him as an artist. And then he came out because I don't think he wanted to stay at the checkout and just like, because he's already been recognised by me, doesn't want to, get that kind of attention again. And he came out, and I just went, Jerry. And he came right over, and he was just like, this fucking moped, man, is a fucking winner. I was like, where do you get that? I want one. I was like, Campfire Vampire, I love it. That's all I wanted to say. It's just like Campfire Vampire, like probably like saved my life at that time. Like, I was so happy that tune was out there.
It's a great tune.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's not like underrated. It's just not appreciated enough. I think people just want to,
I love that. So I love Jerry's earlier stuff, like before the album and stuff.
What,
that
the
song,
Cinnamon's part?
well, just after that, like Campfire Vampire, Fickle Mix Selfish.
Yeah, like
all
these
these sort of songs.
I think there's them songs. I think why they're like I love them a lot. I think there's a lot of like integrity and like honesty in them. I think like, it's like proper pushed on everything from him. I think it's like all his like everything he's learned from a guitar, and he's went, I'm going to put it in these two tunes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of honesty from that. And I think that's why a lot of people they'll be like, oh, I really like that Fickle Mix Selfish song, because you listen to it and you actually like you feel the sympathy from him.
I know.
He's literally opened he's opened his heart out to you, and he's like, yeah.
It's inspiring seeing how big he's become. I actually played a couple of gigs. I used to go to his open mic night at the Priory before the Shams, and I've seen him play in front of like 3 people. To like what he's doing now, it's like fucking hell, it's mad.
I remember I saw a video, and he was in fucking Revolution to Cuba, and he was doing like a set, and he was singing Stand By Me, and there was like, it was like broad daylight, and it just doesn't look right. It's just like you can just tell you don't deserve to be there. You deserve to be like on stage and just let everyone fuck each other.
I've got a funny story about how pretty much I patched a Jerry Cinnamon gig to join the Shams.
Yeah.
What had happened is I was in the Shams for a wee while, and we had wrote songs like When She Goes Home and stuff, but none of us were like that dedicated to it, and I was probably being a moany fucker to them and telling them to practice and flinging my toys at the pram because they weren't practicing. So I left them, and Lewis, Jordy and Pandas, they kind of had a few practices. Then I got the studio, just a rehearsal room down the stairs, and when I got that, they asked to book into a practice. And that night I was supposed to go and see Jerry. He was playing at a cafe just round the corner, the Old Inn it was called. And I went and met him, because I used to speak to him a wee bit when I used to go to his open mic nights. And I went and met him and stuff, and I was like, right, he got my guest list to the gig, and I was like, right, come back to the studio after it and stuff. So I came back to the studio, and Lewis, Jordy and Pandy for the Shams were booked in here to rehearse, and then I ended up just fucking sabotaging their practice and rejoining in the Shams again and patched the Jerry Cinnamon gig.
That's brilliant, man.
It's interesting you were like talking about like the beginnings, because obviously I've just started, like I've been able to start my band through the pandemic and stuff. It's like I want to know like kind of the initial like first struggles with the band in terms of like building a chemistry together, and like the first obstacles you had like pushing it.
Well, see, the thing with the Shams is because we're like, as mad as it sounds, we're kind of like brothers, because we've been like, we're all from like the same area sort of thing. We all live pretty close together, and
you can relate to each other.
And the thing with us as well, like sometimes when you go through shit band, it makes or breaks a band. And we've been through so much bullshit.
Yeah,
you would not believe it. You know what I mean? We've been through so much, but like it's never fucking broke us.
Yeah.
So we keep pushing with it. And I think that's like, I think if you could overcome the early struggles, if you go through a wee bit drama, because drama always happens, especially in bands, like you always fall out with each other and stuff.
I definitely think that's part of the reason why I kept coming back, because I seen that, like, it's again sounding wanky, like I did see that in you. Like I came here and you were like, yeah, I've been building this place up myself really for like the past 5 years, and there's nothing I love more than stuff like that. Like instead of just things pure been shoved in your hands and you've just been babied through it.
Never had that.
You've been fucking powering through it, man. Like that's generally the reason why I kept coming back. It's just
appreciate
like
that.
you want to continue to be part of that, because that's my goal as well, to kind of create a nice circle and a community, and instead of just like,
and just being real as well.
Being authentic,
being real and honest.
Just not being a fucking superstar.
I think people are quite good at seeing authenticity, and when people are fake, and you can just tell when somebody's kind of been through the shit and pulled through it. And
What's the plans in? Because you've been doing like acoustic stuff for a few years, but you've just formed a new band, Pandas.
I've just formed Pandas. What it was I always kind of wanted a band, and I thought it would. I was scared because I was talking to my dad last year about it, and I was telling him I want to form a band, and he was like, "You can form a band, but it can't be the Ellis Hurley show." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want it to be the Ellis Hurley show, but it's hard to just think right now. I want to like have like chemistry with players, and it's kind of hard to force that in people, especially if you've like started. You can't just like force the chemistry. Oh yeah, we're so good already, and it's almost like it came dropping from heaven. I played at King Tut's, the Sunday sessions. You do 2 songs and you sit down. Good son. I recommend it to any artist in Glasgow.
I actually didn't know about that.
Sunday sessions, Mick Carrigan, good lad. He'll keep you going. It's more for like the younger folk that come, like we like 11-year-olds that play with our guitar, and it's just the cutest thing ever. And it's just a good amount of a warmth and like a community from it as well. And Oren, the guitarist, he was playing, and he had a Telecaster and a loop pedal station, and I was going on after him, and I was sat there, right, just with my acoustic guitar, and he starts playing Charming Man on a loop pedal. He starts looping Charming Man and then sings it. And then he does this jazzy thing after, and the first thing I did, I seen where his parents were, and I walked up to his parents and I went, I'm not fucking playing after that. Like, your son has potentially ruined my career. I don't want to push myself further anymore, right? So he never heard about this until he got home, because his parents were like, you remember that kid that played after you? Because I played like the acoustic Debbie and stuff and was giving it pure big energy and stuff. And then he sent me a message and he was like, listen, I'm not the most confident singer, but like I'd love to like collab with you at King Tut's. We can do just covers together. And like, see, nowadays, I don't really let people into my lives a lot, because I just don't want to, like, too many people. I only want people
keep
that,
the
like,
circle
small. Keep it tight, exactly. And I was just thinking, I don't know about this boy. There was nothing wrong with him texting us, but you have to feel weary. You have to take a pinch of salt with it. And then I went, do you like catfish? And then
I was like, no.
And he went, is the Pope Catholic? And I went, right, I'm going to give this boy a chance. Since he said that, because I was saying that a lot of the time, like, is the Pope Catholic? It's just a stupid, but it still has a bit of funniness to it.
So is that a big thing for you, like him liking catfish? Is that a big influence for you as well?
It was at the time, because see Catfish, right? A lot of the songs, like if you're like very unaware of Catfish and you listen to them, you're like, all the songs sound the same. They do, right? And I accept that. But those boys play that are going to get fucking shot after it. They play like it's a last gig. You see the sweat dripping off them.
Van McCann does go for it on stage.
That was like the main thing in my head, especially when they played Tyrants. And that was the moment I was just like, nah, I don't think I want to go into acting just now. I think I want to be on that stage and I want to give that same, like, present that same energy in my way as well. Not like, you know, and copy it. I want to influence it, but not copy it. And me and Oren started doing covers together, and we did Pacifier, and then we did.
It's a great tune.
It's a really good tune to cover as well. And then from then we just kind of. He was a bit uneasy about it at first because he was already in kind of bands. He was kind of moping about, and I was kind of telling him my vision at the time, which was Pandas, and just talking about it and just talking where I want to take it. Like, I'm not going to be like a pose band, an image band. Like, I want to be a genre. I want to, like, people
have your own sound.
Yeah,
totally.
Have my own sound, exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's more identifiable, the getting the sound your own than looking different. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be. It's all about the sound, man. Definitely. You can tell you're really excited about this new project, though. Oh, definitely.
It's like, I think I'm excited about it now is because this month especially, it's just been the biggest, like, target. It's been like the biggest, like, if you really want this to work, you're gonna work your arse off.
Yeah,
that's the way to think. Though.
Yeah.
Before we had Shug and Rowan on the kit, me and Oren, as soon as he clicked and went, you know what, Ellis, like, I trust you.
Yeah.
And from then on, we've been brothers ever since. And it's not even like, it's the same with you. It's like, I genuinely think he's like, I think he's been part of my life forever.
Yeah.
Because
and the more you continue it, the more you'll get closer.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you go for it.
Yeah. And like, in terms of rehearsing together, when we had like a couple of rehearsals together and then the pandemic came and we were so, like,
gutted.
We were gutted, but it didn't stop us.
Yeah.
We were sitting on the phone calls to each other singing, like writing songs. I'd be sitting up at Kafka and Braze on my own writing lyrics, and there'd be people going past you and all that part, and he'd be on the phone to me, and I'm like, "Do you want to sing Sugar and Fishnets?" And he's like, "You've not got your guitar," and I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. I just want to sing it." Like, it's that push and that drive to be like, "No, it doesn't matter." People just walking past like, "What the fuck?" Like, 'cause I'm just sitting with the headphones. Yeah, I'm just sitting with the headphones going, "Addiction," and everyone's just like, "Right, okay." But from, like, we've just been driving it, and
then you've now got time to focus on the writing and getting the sound, and then you'll have the gigs. You'll be ready.
That's what happened from, like, I think April, May is when we actually, like, had songs and we actually had, like, that feeling we can actually do this now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, oh, we need to do gigs. In my head is, no, I want to get into music marketing. I want to get into everything possible that will help, like, make it a career rather than just a bit of fun.
Going into it blindly, like,
exactly.
Having the step ahead of other bands.
I don't want to be just like, we just do a gig and it's a bit mucky. Like, I want to, like, as soon as the first gig, people, like, think we've been doing it for years.
Yeah, that's
what it feels like.
No,
as soon as we got the other boys in, it just you could feel a difference in the room. Like, they all heard the music and they never played it live. And our first rehearsal was in June, and we done the whole set. Like, Shug had the bass chords and all that on the side of him, like, looking at it, and it was as if we were doing our first set, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
and it
just felt right.
It did feel right, and it, like, there's a lot of like, things that bring you down with the band as well. Like, you not know if, like, it's going to happen. Like, you have so, like, the amount of times you're constantly pushing yourself and going, no, it's going to work. There are a lot of times where it's like, what's the point?
No, that's
what
natural,
is the point?
Though,
it happens as well.
Natural.
It's part of it. So.
Aye. What's the big dream then? What's the biggest dream, the biggest goal that you're going to achieve or pushing to strive for?
Biggest dream is knowing that people that are coming to the gigs know they're escaping reality. People are coming, and
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like people, like, could be having a shit day,
but when they're at the gig, it's completely forgotten about it. And that's how it should be.
You can be who the fuck you want, as long as you're shaking your hips the same as I'm shaking my hips, right? And you're involved with me, and you're part of that connection. That is all I care about.
That's good, man.
Because I've always been, like, a person, like, I really care for, like, human behaviour. Like, it originally came from when I was watching The Breakfast Club. That was, like, the first film, and that, ever since I watched that film, it set me off to, like, be a really good person. Like, and I took influence from John Hughes and people like Edgar Wright that just that fold on people's emotions and just love, like, natural human behaviour. And I think that's what I want. That's the way I write. I write for people. I write for myself, but I write for people because when people feel a connection, they feel comfort. And that's what I want. I want people to come to the gigs and feel comfort and be like you enter a different place almost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
a good way to put it, man.
It's not like I want to play Hampden and punch my dad. No, it's not that.
It's still a big goal, that though.
I mean, that's going to take some. That's going to take some effort. But yeah, that's the main goal. Like, if I don't want it to be like people are coming because it's they're such a good band. It's like people are coming because they feel like safe when I'm playing with them, and that's like in terms of writing as well. I want to write stuff that it makes people feel comfortable to listen to.
As long as you always keep that goal, it'll always be authentic.
Yeah,
like people will see
that's
that.
the thing. Authenticity.
Yeah, so I'm the same, man. That's my main priority with music is honesty and just being yourself and wanting to have that connection, wanting people to feel a connection when they come to your gigs and stuff. Yeah.
In terms of like, what are you setting for yourself for the future then? Because I know, obviously, you've got your head kind of shaped on your own right now. So I was wondering, like, what you're kind of...
For me, it's just going through a period of like just trying to... sometimes I felt like when I was in my old band, like I was writing for other people, but I was trying to appeal to a certain crowd,
fan base,
and I wasn't really writing for myself, like music that represented what I was really thinking. So I think it's really just discovering musically a style that suits me, and then like lyrically as well, because I'm starting to get more into lyrics and stuff. It wasn't really something I prioritised before, but looking forward to what the future holds.
And your singer to write the lyrics as well.
Yeah. I was writing he was helping a bit as well. It was mostly me that was writing lyrics.
Oh, right, okay.
And he came in one time and he's like, I've just got all these lyrics, and showed me them all and kind of fitted them into certain tunes and stuff. But we both were kind of writing about similar things, but I just felt a bit disconnected from it sometimes towards the end.
You've always got to be yourself. Like exactly, we were speaking about that. See, when you try and write something that's no you, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was saying I was trying to write like fucking complicated chords and be total intricate about a year ago, and what I was writing was fucking shit.
Yeah.
But
like,
when you be basic,
and I know you don't know fuck all about music theory. I don't know fuck all about that.
I don't fuck all about music.
That's the best way though.
No, but I don't think most people that come in here do. That's not
that's part of it.
We're winging it, faking it till we make it. Fake it till we make it. Exactly.
Yeah. As long as you're giving it the 100% every single time, people are going to trust that. They love that more than anything. That's why
people
works.
can instantly see it.
Yeah,
I think
it's proven to work that you don't have to know everything.
No.
Like, you can go do your 5 years at fucking a musical academy, but still.
You might still not be able to write tunes that mean anything to people.
You need to know how you network yourself as well.
The most important, like.
Yeah.
And if it's pure, then it's going to work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when can we expect the first single for Pandas?
So the first single's hopefully end of this month. I'm going to get it down probably before the end of August, because we're obviously going to record our wee drums set here, because we've done everything through ourselves. Through the whole of the summer, me and Oren have been doing sessions in my room, like, through all the hot days. We don't care about it being nice. We've been sticking and going in GarageBand and recording everything and just making sure it sounds sweet and just putting the effort in. Because honestly, like, a lot of bands like do struggle, and you've just got to remember, as long as you're like giving it everything, you're eventually going to get some type of success. It might not be what you want, but you're going to get some happiness from it. Because the hardest workers do end up being the best. The hardest workers are always going to be on top. Like they'll never just stop and relax. They'll keep going. Like you can reach a peak, but people reach their peaks and then they stop and they relax themselves. Like, it's all right now. We can get an audience of like 5,000. We can just kind of relax now and not have to worry. Fuck that. Like you should be going, no, I want more. I want to push that even more. I want to get 10,000.
For me, seeing you speaking like that, because obviously you've not done like a lot of gigs and stuff. You've not really put yourself in the scene, but because we've seen you and here loads of times and putting the graft in, and because your mindset, as you can see the seeds being planted, and I ken that you're going to do well, man. So it's going to be good.
We'll see.
Pressure's on.
I know exactly. We just watched this 5 years ago and turns out my junkie.
Mate, I'm halfway there. Only joking.
I do have one question, because
I was looking forward to this. Yeah.
So it's not a bad one. It's a really good one. No, what is the most important song that's been written in the past like 15 years?
Just by anybody?
Yeah, anybody. It's like you've heard a song and it's just been so big to, not just to you, but you just know it's such a well-written song.
That's a hard one in 15 years, because I don't think there's been good music, but I don't think there's been like fucking
so since 2000,
music.
2005.
It doesn't have to be like have to be a tune that is a big song. It's just it's big to you, and you know it's a good song.
Big to you, important to like you personally.
Yeah,
that's fine. I could just pick anything random.
Aye, because you'll get scrounded if you pick something that wasn't a good song.
Oh fuck!
It's taken me a while. Like I know there'll be something.
I mean, I appreciate like let's just say for example, Tame Impala.
I was just about to say that
because he fucking like writes it, records it, produces it, mixes it, masters it. And like I think he's underrated, if anything. So probably for me, someone like the less I know the better. But
I'm annoyed that you're saying that because I was going to say that and be because of production. It was him and the Beatles that got me into, because the Beatles, you've got like the creativity and like what they actually like innovated in terms of recording, you know, all these new techniques, and even just bringing like the album to the forefront of music. Like this is a work of art. Like the album, and you've got Kevin Parker, who's just a stoner that sits in his bedroom and he makes this amazing music. It's like what? Like
it's not
everything. It's fucking bizarre how somebody can do that much. Like be that talented at doing everything. Like so every instrument he plays. Mixes it or records it. Or
so I am going to say New Person, Same Old Mistakes by Tame Impala.
There you go.
For me, that was my favourite song when I heard Currents.
You've definitely made the point of like I think Tame like. Not knowing them songs are like the best, but like just knowing Tame is probably like one of the biggest artists coming in the last 15 years, and just knowing he's like someone you should look up to. So if you're a young band as well.
What's your one? You're not getting away with this.
Nah. It's definitely like Foals, Spanish Sahara.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
And not like people. Like they know Foals, like they know my number, and they wank themselves off the mountain at my gates in firewater and stuff, right? But like Spanish Sahara, I think it's generally one of the most important songs like written, like, and they've said it in interviews, and they know how much effort they put into it, and even Giannis knows himself, because when they did their set at SWG3 last year, he was doing a DJ set, and my arse was like, I want to go meet him. And just,
your arse was tingling.
Yeah, my arse was tingling. Like, in my head, all I wanted to do was tell him like how much like Spanish Sahara affected me, and in terms of especially with acting, because I used it a lot for like emotion memory and like getting into like really not dark states, but being able to create sadness and just like
getting into that mindset.
Getting that mindset, and
is that method acting? That's
just the method acting. I'd listen to it before I would do a show. If I had to do a scene where there was a scene where I was basically telling the person I was going to kill myself, and before I did the show, I was just listening to the song on repeat.
Yeah,
it's not that the song makes you want to kill yourself, but it gives you a lot of relaxation. And so we went to the place where he was playing, and I went up to him, and I was like, "Could I get a picture?" And he was like, "Yeah, all right." Like, he doesn't want that, like, because he just came to do a DJ set, and then I said to him, by the way, like, thank you so much for like writing Spanish Sahara. I think you've wrote such an important song, and it means a lot to me. And he knew, like, in that moment, he went, "You're not just a fucking daft b-boy who's come up to me." Like, he knows that I know how much effort he put into that song and how much of his heart.
It's not just a song. It's something that you based what you were. You know, you felt like that changed. You could be able to change who you were in that moment.
Yeah, like, and I could tell by the smile he gave me, it was just like,
he appreciated it.
Yeah, he was like, you know your stuff, but like, you know our tunes.
Researching the music.
You've actually like listened to us properly and took us into consideration as more than a band, and I think they are. I think Falls are like so underappreciated, because a lot of people, even Rowan, I was telling Rowan, like, see, for drummers to look into for Pandas, like, and a good influence is Falls, because that drummer is shit hot. Jack, his name is. He is shit hot. He's like the drum styles he can do, and like,
they came from a very like math rock kind of based sound with like time signature changes and stuff. So if you take that into like, we can obviously went more pop with like My Number and stuff. Like you can totally tell they've came from that place.
Yeah, and I appreciate Falls a lot. Like I wouldn't say like. I love them. They're amazing, and I'd continue to see them. Like, they're always going to be up there, especially in performance as well. Because Giannis is part of that same system of like wanting the audience to be part of it, because he goes in the audience. He just goes, "Fuck it, I'm just going to go in the audience." He stands on the gate, and he knows for a fact everyone's going to like grab him to keep him up, and he's just sitting there and he's just fucking strumming away, looking at everyone, and he's like, "I'm looking at every one of you." And if every one of you aren't giving me the same energy, you'd be fucking raging. And that's like, I was just like, I adore that. That is what you want. That's what you want from like a frontman as well.
Yeah.
He gives me hope as well because he's a short arse. he's kind of like up there on the good short arses that kind of give me a bit of hope because I'm being 5'7.5". It gives you that kind of confidence that you can still give all that energy but still be a short arse.
Brilliant.
Wrap up.
Aye, let's wrap up. That's a good bit to end there.
Aye.
Thanks very much for coming on, man.
Cheers for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.
Ruby, let's go.
And hopefully we'll bump into you very soon again in Eggman.
Yeah.
So we can get
Hopefully
Pandas on social media.
We can
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Yeah.
not going to plug it or anything. Yeah, Pandas Instagram. If any of you want to have a listen to
A
see
wee
what we're
dander.
like. But if you do listen to us, let me know how you like it. I
Oh,
don't
of
want you to
course,
be
man.
not even like yourself, like anyone who wants to listen to it. I don't want it to be. I want to know people's thoughts. I want to know what they like and what they don't like.
And
as
when
well.
can we expect the first single out again?
Probably
You got
like
a date?
end of August. It'll
Cool.
probably be like the 30th. Probably.
Banging, man. Well, make sure you tune in to Panda's new single.
Please. Don't only do it if you want to. I'm not that bothered.
And make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Ellis Hurley, again, cheers for coming on, my
Thank you
man.
very much.
Thank
guys.
you.
Cheers, my
Au
brother.
revoir.